Good morning, everyone. Welcome to all in this lecture number 25 of module 4, where we are going to talk about justice in detail. So basically, this lecture is focused on justice. Previously, we talked about dimension of education, then dimension of health, and in this lecture particularly, we are going to talk about justice in detail. So let's start. So as I told you, we are studying various dimensions required for human order, and in this sequence we talked about education, we talked about health. Now we are going to study justice, dimension of justice. So what justice means? You must have studied it in HV2, HV3, but here we are again going to briefly describe here because it is an important dimension for human order. So justice means when a human being fulfills his relationships with other human beings while living in a human order is recognized as justice. So one way to look at this justice is when a human being is capable to ensure the fulfillment of relationship with other human being is justice. Or we can say we have to live with each other in complementarily. We have to fulfill the expected values. Being able to do that properly has been recognized as justice. So this is another way to talk about justice. So when we are living in complementarity with the expected values, it means we are living with justice. Or we can say if we are fulfilling all the obligations and duties while living in a relationship is justice. So justice appears as an important dimension for a human to live harmoniously and to ensure human order, because it is our innate desire. It is naturally acceptable to us to live in justice, and all of us naturally looking for justice in relationship. That's why justice play an important role while living in a society. So in society, everyone at least expecting the fulfillment of a relationship with each other, the fulfillment of values with each other. So justice is required, ability to fulfill justice is required in each and every one. So let's see what we are going to study. So number one, the goal, achievement of dimensions of justice. So objective of justice is to create an environment of mutual trust in the society. So if you see the prevalent situation, you will find an environment of fear. And this fear is because of the absence of this justice. So if we ensure justice, it creates an environment of mutual trust. It means if I am able to ensure justice, I am able to see feeling of relationship, I am able to ensure feeling of relationship with others, like feeling of trust, respect. When everyone is able to ensure these feelings, it creates an environment of mutual trust in the society. So to overcome this state of fear from the society, justice is required. So if one is able to ensure, one is able to live with justice, an environment of mutual trust is built in the society. So one of the objective of justice is to create an environment of mutual trust in the society. Second is harmonious human-human relationship resulting in mutual happiness is the achievement of justice. So next objective is to ensure harmonious relationship. Harmonious relationship means ensuring mutual happiness with each other. This is an outcome of the justice. So when we live with justice, it ensures mutual happiness as an outcome. That's why justice is required in the society. Then environment of trust and fearlessness is developed in relationship and system when justice is ensured. So when justice is ensured among human beings, when justice is ensured in the society, an environment of trust and fearlessness is developed that is required to live in harmony. Even if you ask yourself, do you want this justice in the society? What is naturally acceptable to you, to live with justice or to live with injustice? So naturally we get an answer that all of us want to live with justice. And when there is a justice in the society, an environment of trust and fearlessness is developed. And in the absence of justice, we are afraid of inhuman behavior of human being. So if one is not able to ensure these feelings in complementarity, one is not able to fulfill this human-human relationship, there is a fear of inhuman behavior in this situation. So to ensure harmony in the society, an environment of justice, the ability to live with fulfillment of feelings in human-human relationship is required. So these are the objectives of the dimension of justice. Now just recap about the content of justice, and I assume you have studied in UHV 2, UHV 3, but I am recapping here again. So justice is basically recognition of relationship. So if I am aware about the activities going on in me, in fact activities of realization, activity of understanding, activity of contemplation, then I recognize this relationship with other human beings. And once I recognize this relationship with other human beings, and I fulfill those values required for a fulfilling relationship. So once I fulfill those values and evaluate the feelings, whether the communicated feelings has been received by the others or not. If it is received by the other as I am trying to communicate the other person, then its outcome is mutual happiness. And this mutual happiness is justice. So basically, in justice, these 4 steps are involved. So first, I should be able to recognize the feeling of relationship with definiteness. If I am able to recognize this feeling of relationship with definiteness, then justice can be ensured in continuity. So first step is to recognize the relationship. The next step is to fulfill all those values which are required for a harmonious relationship. Then evaluation of feeling is required to ensure that my feeling is received by the others or not. If it is received by the others, then its outcome is mutual happiness. And if the outcome is mutual happiness, it means justice is ensured. So you have already studied it in previous chapters, in fact in module 2, and also in previous courses like UHV 2 and UHV 3. So with this briefing, with this little background, now we can talk about this relationship, behavior and justice in more detail here. So what do you mean by relationship? Coexistence of a human being with the other. So once I realized this coexistence, then I am able to see that I coexist with everyone. I coexist with space. I am submerged in space, and each and every unit is submerged in space. And all the submerged unit is related to me. I am coexisting with other units in this space. So once I am able to see this coexistence with human being, it means I am able to see the relationship. So to see the relationship means I am able to see coexistence with other human being. So once I identify this coexistence with other human being, it is a relationship. Then the next step is living in this complementarity. So once I have clarity of this coexistence with other human being, then I try to live in complementarity. So once I try to live in complementarity, this is behavior. Then living with complementarity in behavior, fulfillment of expected feelings is justice. So expected feelings means what? Expected feelings means established values and expressed values. So we studied in previous chapters established values that remain intact within us. For example, trust, respect, care, guidance, reverence, glory, gratitude, and love. So we studied these 9 feelings as established values in module 1. Then expressed values. We also studied all the expressed values respective to these established values. So complementariness, compliance, till unanimity. So both these feelings, established values and expressed values, are expected. So fulfillment of these values are expected from each other. So when we live with these expected values in complementarity, justice is ensured. So justice ensuring established values and expressed values in the behavior. So to recognize these established values and to fulfill these expressed values, the clarity of coexistence with human being is required. So clarity of coexistence with other human being is relationship. And when I fulfill those relationship in complementarity while interacting with human being, this is behavior. And in behavior, these expected values are required. So established values are expected from me. Then expressed values are also expected. So when we fulfill these established values and expressed values, it ensures justice with human being. Then we can also say that if we fulfill obligations, duty, and ethics, it is also a justice. So what does it mean? So let's understand the meaning of obligations. Obligations means understanding the issues completely, taking full responsibility and execute them. So I understand the issue in relationship completely and I take full responsibility to actualize that. This is obligation. And duty is taking the responsibility partially and supporting the person who has taken full responsibility in its execution. So if I am not able to fulfill all the responsibilities, then I am taking partial responsibility as per my competence and supporting the other person who has taken the full responsibility. If this is the case, when one has not understood the issue completely. So if I am not able to understand the issue completely, so at least I am ready to fulfill it in partiality. So partially I am able to fulfill the responsibility. Or you can say executing the things with understanding is obligation, and doing the things while understanding is duty. So basically, this obligation is related to understanding and duty is related to doing. So what I have understood, I am doing that, is my duty. So human beings identifies the obligations and does accordingly. So whenever a human being understands any issue, he identifies his duty and act accordingly. So in duty, a human being support the other who has the understanding of the things. All these things are required in duty. Then we can talk about ethics. Whatever we have been given as a duty or whatever we are doing as obligation, if we execute it properly, it's termed as ethics. Otherwise, it is unethical. So ethics means whatever duty is given to me, whatever we are doing as obligations, I am doing it honestly. This is ethics. So if we understand these obligations due to ethics and fulfill it, it can also be said justice. Then undivided society based on knowledge and resolution. So we studied it earlier that the outcome of justice in everyone is undivided society. So understanding and acceptance of relationship, we can say it is knowledge. So once I understand the coexistence, once I accept this coexistence with others, this is knowledge, and ensuring feeling and thoughts of relationship in the self is resolution. So now my feelings and thoughts according to acceptance of this coexistence, according to the knowledge, this is resolution. It means now I am resolved within myself. I am able to see relationships with others. And expressing these feelings in relationship is just behavior. And when this justice is ensured from family to world family, this is undivided society. So to reach up to this state, that is undivided society, these are the steps. So first step is to ensure knowledge, then resolution. It will lead to just behavior, and when it is ensured through education sanskar in every child, then the state of society is undivided society. So these steps are required to reach to the state of this undivided society. So to ensure undivided society, justice is required, and for justice, these steps are required. So one should have the knowledge of relationship, clarity of coexistence, then resolution at the level of self, then ability to express these feelings in relationships, and then one can become natural agent of this ensuring justice from family to world family order, and it will ensure the state of undivided society. So we can now discuss the process of behavior. When we interact with human being, what would be the process of behavior? So in the individual, everyone has innate desire to live in relationship. Everyone has innate feelings in relationship and thoughts for fulfillment of feelings. And this fulfillment of feelings reflect in behavior. So if I see the other person, I am able to see his behavior. So when I observe this behavior, I evaluate values indicated by his behavior. So one person is behaving using language, using words to express himself or herself. I can only observe those behavior, and with this behavior I try to evaluate values that is being trying to communicate by the other person. Once I evaluate those values, if I am able to evaluate those values rightly, then the feeling of happiness in the others happens. So I am happy because I am able to evaluate the feelings. I am able to understand the feelings beyond this behavior, and the other is also feels happy because he understands that I have understood those feelings. Therefore, a mutual happiness is achieved. So if a person A and this is person B, so person A has clarity about human-human relationship. He has innate feeling in relationships. With right thoughts, right feeling, person A tries to express these feelings in behavior. Because he is with right feelings, he evaluates in himself what feelings are required to express, and with that feeling he feels happy. And when this person B recognize those feelings, evaluate those feelings, and able to see those feelings from the others, he also feels happy. Therefore, mutual happiness is ensured between the person A and person B. And this mutual happiness is justice. So justice means there is a mutual happiness in interaction of human beings. So programs for ensuring justice. Now we can talk about what programs are required to ensure this justice. So justice begins in the family with fulfillment in mutual relationship. So justice should be ensured at the family level. It means when the child is growing, it is a responsibility of the parents to ensure enough ability in the child so that the child is able to recognize the coexistence, the feelings, and child is able to fulfill those feelings. Child is able to evaluate those feelings, and child is also able to evaluate the feelings is communicated by family members. So if we ensure this in the child at the level of family, so justice starts from there. So we have to prepare our child with the ability to ensure justice in human-human relationship. So to ensure this justice in the family, it is necessary to develop the ability to ensure justice in every individual. And it is the role of parents, education sanskars, education systems, whether this ability is developed in a child or not. So when the family members, as a parents, when the teachers, when the whole education system work on this ability, a child gets equipped with this feeling of justice. And justice is the ability to recognize relationship, ability to ensure the values in oneself and its expression, ability to evaluate values, ability to ensure mutual happiness. So justice is ensured from family to village cluster, nation to world family. So there is a need of that kind of education system, education sanskar, that help the child developing this competence so that a child can live with mutual fulfillment in relationships. If we ensure all this in our education system, if we ensure this at the level of family, then a child is able to ensure justice from family to world family. It means in his life, wherever he interacts with other, he is able to ensure justice with everyone. So this program can be made to ensure justice in the society. So let me sum up the whole things. So we started with the justice, we recapped the justice, and we tried to understand the meaning of justice, that is ability to recognize relationship, ability to ensure the values in oneself, ability to evaluate values and expressed values, and the outcome is mutual happiness. So if we ensure this justice in everyone, then one is able to ensure this justice from family to world family order. And this justice is required for an undivided society. And in the absence of this justice, there is an environment of fear, mistrust, which is not naturally acceptable to us. So for a harmonious society, for a good relationships, justice is minimum requirement. In fact, all of us are expecting justice, means are expecting expressed values, established values in interactions. So if we create such kind of education system, such kind of Shiksha Sanskar, such kind of policies, guidance to families to ensure right Shiksha Sanskar in their child, and by these efforts, a child may become a natural agent of ensuring this justice. And in this manner, justice can be ensured from family to world family order, which is expected by everyone. So thank you very much. That's all from my side for this lecture. Have a good day. Thank you very much.